the internet, Peter here. The new Star Wars trilogy is officially kicked off with the record-shattering premiere of The Force Awakens, and since I, like the rest of the internet, am appropriately obsessed with this movie, I felt that it is only apt that we spend today's video dissecting the popularity of his breakout star. Let's see here. Bingo! Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure that I had paused the video to let you guys know that this will be a spoiler-free episode. I'm not going to divulge any of the major plot points, anything like that. In fact, the only thing I'm going to do is maybe allude to a couple of non-substantive moments that included BB-8 in them. But if that's too much for you, look, I totally understand. I actually went on a 72-hour internet hiatus before I watched the movie for the first time. I mean, that might be a bit extreme considering I live on the internet, and that was actually rather hard. It's totally worth it. Totally understand. So if you have not seen the movie and you feel like this is a deal breaker, even though, like I said, I'm not really spoiling anything, go ahead and just stop watching this and go ahead and watch that and then come back to this. Otherwise, let's get to it. So, right, probably should get back to start the video again. Got it. BB-8 rolled straight off the screen and into our hearts. As Peter Trivers of the Rolling Stone noted, no one could steal a scene from BB-8, and this is totally accurate. In fact, no one could even hold a candle to this lovable little droid. But as Emily Asher Perrin of Tor has noted, this sort of obsession has been going on for months before the actual premiere of the film. His popularity was instantaneous and dang near ubiquitous from his first appearance in the trailers. He's so popular, in fact, that Twitter automatically includes an image of him when you have the hashtag Star Wars in your tweets, a fact that I only learned when composing the spoiler warning that I used earlier in this episode. Shoot, thanks to Nerdblock, I even have a little plush one that hangs out on my entertainment center. His job is to cheer me on when I play Halo, and to silently judge me on my decision to abstain from purchasing the video game tie-in to his movie. But this new Star Wars movie introduced us to a whole bunch of incredible characters. That's not to say that they're not all enjoying their own unique forms of fandom, but let's be honest here. Nothing really compares to that unbridled adoration we all feel for our favorite autonomous soccer ball. And today, we're going to delve into why. The first thing we have to acknowledge is that unlike lightsabers, TIE fighters, and Mandalorian armor, BB-8 can exist in our actual universe in a way that doesn't somehow substantially diminish or cheapen his most substantive qualities. Director J.J. Abrams delighted fans well before the actual premiere of the film by insisting for a greater emphasis on practical effects than what was seen in the prequels. And it just so happens that BB-8 is one of these practical effects. As the aptly titled website HowBB-8Works.com explains, Disney and Sphero hold a number of patents that allow BB-8's design to work in reality. In fact, it just so happens that Sphero manufactures one of the toy versions of BB-8 that sold like hotcakes during the holidays. Star Wars is a huge cultural phenomenon, and people love to be able to just, reach out and take bits of that universe home with them. And the greater fidelity that these items have to that galaxy far, far away, the better. However, this really only allows us to justify the time spent in our enamorment. It doesn't really dive into the instinctual draw we all felt when we first saw BB-8 in the trailers. The term instinctual being literal here, by the way, because as it turns out, BB-8's design is meant to tap into some of the deepest levels of our social psychology. If we analyze the traits of BB-8 that seem the most endearing, we'll notice that he has a lot in common with mammalian infants, babies specifically. His eye is disproportionately larger and sits below the midline of the head, allowing for the emergence of a rather prominent forehead atop smooth cheeks. His body, meanwhile, is absent of any hard edges, appearing soft, and his movements evoke the uncertain wobbling of a baby learning its first steps. All of this was far from accidental. In the 1940s, Konrad Lorenz uncovered a set of 6 traits that he collectively labeled Kinderschema, which seemed to universally evoke feelings of cuteness. He posited that our immediate desire to care for things that exhibit these traits are a product of our evolution. Follow-up studies support the notion of it being hardwired by showing that certain regions of the brain light up like a lightsaber when female subjects were exposed to quote-unquote cute stimuli. In fact, of this list, BB-8 is only missing a disproportionately larger head compared to the rest of his body, which, although is objectively adorable, was presumably scrapped because it'd be a bit, impractical. Inculcating characters into our cultural psyche by making them appear to be more childlike is a relatively old trick in the entertainment industry. Acclaimed evolutionary biologist Stephen A. Gould noted that Mickey Mouse's appearance has evolved from his original, more mischievous look to something much more childlike and adorable. It would be weird for Disney to not apply the same techniques when creating BB-8. But BB-8 doesn't just resemble infants, oh no. There are also very clear similarities to another very prominent and very popular character in the Star Wars universe. This was also assuredly not accidental. Studies have found that we are much more likely to find something to be favorable if it resembles something we are already familiar with or already like. And although BB-8 and R2 are distinctly separate droids, it is also equally clear that BB-8 shares a whole bunch of R2's features. In this way, his creators were trying to engender a sort of affection based upon familiarity, based upon what we already know and love. In a sense, these derivative features are symbolic of the approach that the writers took when crafting Episode 7. Take the old and make it new again, even going as far as to get the old gang back together. The purpose of Episode 7 was to take the themes and allure of the previous 6 movies and present them in a way that is novel and exciting for old and new fans alike. BB-8 is the physical embodiment of that ambition. We love BB-8 because he is more real and relatable than most of the other stuff that we're exposed to, because he manages to tap into some of the deepest levels of our psychology, because he resembles what we have already come to love, but also offers us something new and exciting as well. Ultimately, we love him because he, just like Star Wars itself, represents all of this and more. This is Professor Politics signing off. Please leave your thoughts down in the comment section below, and if you like this video, I hope that you'll consider subscribing to the channel. As always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. We have an adorable interruption. We have an adorable interruption here. Yes, say hi, Asia. Aww. Yes, this was an interruption.